Today's recipe calls for some shrimp. I'm going to show you how to make a very easy and very tasty meal prep using these guys. So with that said, let's get started.
The first component of our meal prep we need to start with is the rice. Grab a medium-sized holding device. To that, you'll add in 1 cup or 213 grams of a good quality long grain Thai jasmine rice. After the grains have been placed in the bowl, add some water to the holding device. Should be enough water to fully submerge the rice in the liquid. Give the grains a shakedown for a few minutes. The goal is to wash off as much excess rice starch as possible. After a couple of minutes, you'll notice the water has become super cloudy and milky looking. Pour off all the cloudy water. Repeat the same process with fresh water. You'll wash the rice a total of 2 times. This will ensure we get as much of that starch off as possible. This step will help give us a nice fluffy rice. Now that it's squeaky clean, grab a fine mesh strainer and drain the rice. Drain all or as much of the water off as possible. We don't want to add any of that starchy water to our pot when we cook. I find it helps if you lightly shake and kind of gently toss the rice in the strainer. This will help get rid of more water. Grab a pot that has a nice thick bottom and will also be perfect in size. We want something that will allow the rice to double in size once it's been cooked. Picking too large of a pot and the rice won't be submerged in the water, preventing it from getting a proper cook. Measure out 1 1/4 cups or 300 mils of cold water. You may have to get eye level with the liquid measuring cup for the proper measurement. Grab the H2O and the uncooked grains. Gently toss the pot over the heating source. Add the liquid in and give the pot a little shake to ensure all the rice is fully underwater. It should also be in one nice even layer. Crank the heat up to a medium-high heat. We'll leave it on this ripping high heat until the water hits a simmer, meaning it is barely starting to bubble. Once it has reached this point, throw a lid atop of the pot. You want to use a lid that has a tight, snug fit to it. This will help keep the heat and steam in for that proper cook. After the top is on, turn your heat to a really low temp. Set a timer. We'll cook the rice on this low temp for 15 to 20 minutes or until the rice has doubled in size, is fluffy looking, and is tender in texture. Once you hear the buzzer go off, it's time to check the rice. It should look pillowy and light. All the liquid should have been completely cooked off as well. You can check this by grabbing a rubber spat and getting it between the rice and the pan. If the bottom is dry, you know it's done. Take it off the heat source with the lid still attached to it. We want to allow the rice to steam and rest for 10 to 15 minutes before we mess with it. After the resting period is over, gently fluff the rice to break it up from the large puck it is. Grab a half sheet tray, toss all the rice onto the sheet, make it into one nice even layer, set it aside to allow it to completely cool down. Let's move on to making the roasted veggie portion of the meal. The first thing we need to do is grab an empty half tray and toss it into the oven. Next, set the temp on the oven box to 400 Fahrenheit or 204 Celsius. I'll explain more later on why we're doing things this way. While the tray/oven is getting nice and hot, we can prep the veg. We'll be roasting 1 large and 1 medium to small sized broccoli crown. In total, it'll be 2 pounds and 9.3 ounces or 1,170 grams of broccoli. After it's been made into florets, it should weigh out to 1 pound and 9.2 ounces or 715 grams worth. Alrighty then, enough number talk. It's time to cut this hunk of green stuff up. It's best to use a paring knife to do this job. Flip the brock onto its head. Start to cut the pieces off of the larger stem or root piece of the broccoli. You'll want to cut fairly close to the top of the floret. Leave about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of stem on the pieces. If you leave more than that, it'll be totally fine. Do your best to make all the pieces roughly the same size. This will help ensure everything has an even cook to it. We're shooting for green chunks that are roughly medium in diameter. After they've been cut, toss them into a large bowl. Pro tip, save some effort and time by buying pre-cut broccoli florets, or even easier, use frozen broccoli to really speed up the process. Now that everything is in the bowl, we'll coat all the little green things in 1 tablespoon of a good quality oil. Give the goods a quick mix to ensure all the things are coated well. This will help the seasoning stick to the veg. Season it to taste with some salt and pepper or any of your other favorite spices. After you've made it rain seasoning, pull the hot half tray from the oven, toss the broccoli onto it. It should have a nice sizzle McSizzle sound to it. Make the brock into one even layer for the best roast. Toss the hot tray back into the oven on the middle rack for the best results. Set a timer. We'll roast the broccoli on this first side for 8 to 10 minutes. The reason why we put the empty tray in the oven while it was preheating is to allow it to become ripping hot. So once we put the broccoli onto it, it'll help jumpstart the roasting process. It'll also sear the veg, giving it a nice texture. After the buzzer rings, pull the tray out and give the goods a quick flip and mix up. This will help give each side the chance to become nice and roasted. Toss them back into the fiery heat for an additional 8 to 10 minutes. In total, you'll roast them for 18 to 20 minutes or until it becomes a nice dark golden brown color. Times may vary depending on how hot your little oven runs. We're also shooting for a texture that is al dente. Once the timer goes off, pull the veggies out of the roasting cubicle. They should look something like this. Onto the protein portion of the meal prep. Grab 4 medium to large size garlic cloves. Cut both ends off each piece. Then do the worst task ever and peel all of the paper skins off. Now that we have Naked Vampire Repellent, slice the garlic into thin little chips. Watch your little fingies. We want to keep those little guys. At least I do anyways. Set the garlic aside so we can prep the shrimp next. You can use whatever shrimps you would like for your meals. I'm using jumbo size shrimp that is 21-25 count per pound. Each meal will have 6 pieces per, so in total we'll cook off 24 pieces. That equals 14 ounces or 395 grams worth. Whatever type of shrimp that you use, ensure they've all been deveined, which means the poop chute has been taken out. Typically, everything you buy from the store already has this done. You'll look for the backside of the shrimp to have that small slit on it, which leaves the shrimp a little open, showing nothing. If you see this, they've been deveined. Alright, once that's out of the way, if your shrimps still has the shell, we need to take that off, of course. It's super simple to do. Pull the shell downward on both sides towards the underside of the shrimp. After you've done that, pull the shell completely off. It should all come off in one piece when you do this. You can leave the tails on if you want, or pull them off as well, it doesn't matter. Give the shrimp a once over by filling the whole piece to ensure all the shell has been taken off. Repeat the same process until everything has been taken care of. You can save the shells to make a shrimp stock for another recipe like a soup or some ramen. Grab a large pan, the freshly peeled shrimp, and the garlic. Take these things over to the thing that cooks things. Toss the pan on the burner and crank it up to a medium-high heat level. Allow the pan to become ripping hot. Doing this will give us the best sear on the shrimp, which of course will bring a ton of flavor. A great way to tell if your pan is nice and hot is by dropping in a few little droplets of water. If the water instantly becomes little balls of water and dances around your pan, then you know it's good to go. Give the pan a spray with some cooking oil. Should be enough to coat the bottom. Immediately drop your shrimp in, leaving a little space between each piece. Season them with a small pinch of coarse ground kosher salt. Depending on the size of the pan being used, only add about half of the shrimp, give or take. You may have to do this in batches because we don't want to overcrowd our pan ski. Cook this first side for about 2 to 3 minutes or until they become that pinkish orange color. Flip those bad boys over and cook the other side for the same amount of time or until they've been cooked all the way through. Another great way to check if they're done is press on a piece of shrimp. If it bounces back immediately, then you know it's done. Do your best not to overcook the shrimp. Overcooked shrimp will become rubbery in texture, which isn't very pleasant. Once cooked, pull all the goods out of the pan. After the shrimp is cooked, the pan may have some dark spots. If so, deglaze it with a few tablespoons of water to take all that out. Now that the pan is empty, drop the garlic in. Saute the stinky breath mint for 30 to 40 seconds or until it becomes very fragrant in smell. Once it has, clear the pan out. Now that the shrimp and garlic has been cooked off, we need to do a few more steps. Snag yourself a medium-sized lemon, zest the yellow citrus fruit over the broccoli using a microplane or any other type of tool you have on hand. Avoid getting any of the white part of the fruit. It's known as the pith and it's bitter in taste. If using a zesting stick like I am, run your finger down the backside. We want to knock loose any zest that may be stuck to the tool. Give the green stuff a good mix to spread the yellow stuff throughout the veggies. Once you're satisfied with the mix-up, give it a quick taste test. Adjust the seasoning as needed with a few good pinches of coarse ground kosher salt. Take your limon and cut both ends off the naki fruit. We'll cut a few little wedges for each meal. Cut these as big or as small as your little sour tart heart desires. Knock out any seeds that the wedges may hold so we don't have to worry about them later. Now that the nonsense is over, we can move on to portioning our meals out. Snag some food holding devices. We'll use a kitchen scale to portion out the meals. If you've never done this before, it's very easy to accomplish. Grab the total weight of each item, then divide it by however many meals you plan on making. We'll first start with the rice. Each meal will have 115 grams of the little white grains. Each meal will also have 105 grams of the roasted broccoli lemon zest mixture. The last thing we need to portion out is our garlic. Each meal will have 4 grams of this deliciousness. Weighing this out is optional. The macros won't make or break the entire meal, but it's up to you. Before we toss the garlic into the meals, add 6 pieces of shrimp to each meal, then toss the garlic on top of them. Finally, add those little lemon wedges in. Pop the lids on and toss those bad boys into the fridge box. Warm them up to your desired eating temperature when you're ready to eat. Share a meal or two with your friends, or flex on the bros because your meal prep is way better than theirs. Whatever you decide to do, just enjoy.
Alright, now that our shrimp meal prep is done, let's give it the old taste-a-roo. So looking at it, came out super aesthetically pleasing. There's a ton of different colors going on for it, as you can see. There's that bright white from our rice, that pop of green from our broccoli, that pinkish orange from our shrimps, then of course that bright yellow as well from our lemon wedge. Then the garlic is kind of like a cream color or whatever, so that's kind of cool. But let's give it the old taste. So I'm gonna skip tasting the rice because if you've seen any of my videos before, you know how disgustingly delicious the jasmine rice is, and it's like my favorite thing ever, so we're not even gonna waste time. Let's just jump into the broccoli. Our roasted broccoli came out so dang delicious. It has so much flavor going on for it, and each bite is a little bit different. Maybe the first bite you take, you might get a piece that has a little bit of roastedness to it. Then on the next one, you might get a piece that has that ton of roasted char flavor to it, which is super tasty, I think. And it has the perfect amount of salt to really help bring out those natural flavors that it holds. Of course, it has that distinct healthy green flavor to it as well. Then on the third bite, you might get a ton of that lemon zest, which really brightens up the veggie, and it pairs so well with the broccoli as well. Texture-wise, they're nice and al dente, so they have that perfect little crunch to it as well. Overall, it's just super dang good, and it's like the only way to eat broccoli, I think. So let's try our shrimp. Let's get a piece with some garlic as well. Don't worry, you can eat the tails. Don't be a weirdo, just eat it. It'll be okay. Might be too much broccoli. Oh, garlic, perfect. Our scrimps came out super dang tasty. All of our pieces got that hard sear on there, so we get that really deep, rich caramelization flavor, which brings a ton of goodness to the table. And of course, garlic is really tasty on its own, but you pair it with the scrimps, and it's like the best combination ever. Texture-wise, the shrimp was cooked perfectly, so they're nice and tender and just kind of melt in your mouth. Overall, this thing is just so good. This meal prep meal is super simple to slap together, and it's easily customizable to suit your needs. Maybe you're not a huge fan of roasted broccoli, so maybe boil it instead, or like saute it in a pan if you really wanted to, or make a spicy shrimp meal prep with some red pepper flakes or some sriracha or something like that, which sounds super tasty as well. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. And I have like a half a bag left of some shrimp that I need to figure out what to do with, so I'm gonna go do that, and we'll see you on the next one. My leg itches. You just can't see it. Our shrimp also came out super dang tasty. Our scrimps came out super dang tasty. And I almost fell over. Scrimps! Shrimping, scrimping.